Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and I'm going to talk about how you can play through a song called My Sacrifice by Creed. And we're going to start off with kind of some easy ways to kind of play it and then kind of end up on the licks, and then talk about a little bit of how you can kind of adapt what we talk about for playing it in drop D. But we're going to start off with a B minor chord for our intro. And the way we play B minor, first finger goes across the entire second fret, second finger goes to the B string on the third fret, third finger on the D string on the fourth fret, and the pinky on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord. It sounds really, really sad. Now if you are just starting out, a good substitute for that, actually a lot of times with bar chords, you can take the skinny few strings and kind of make smaller versions of the chord. So you could do first finger on the high E second fret, second finger on the B string third fret, third finger on the G string on the fourth fret, and if you strum just the D, G, and B and E, kind of the top three or the top four strings, that's another way to play B minor. If you're a little bit more adventurous, you could take the third finger and go to the D string on the fourth fret, pinky on the G string on the fourth fret, and if you strum all of the top four strings with that, can make a little bit thicker B minor. Another way to play B minor is if you take first finger on the A string second fret, second finger on the G string second fret, and third finger on the high E string on the second fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B minor 7. And another way to play B minor would be doing first finger on the A string second, second finger on the G string second, third finger on the B string third, and the pinky on the high E on the third. And then you can kind of strum the A string to the high E string, and that might be kind of a cool option too. And then from the B minor, we're going to be going to a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to the A string second fret, second finger to the low E string on the third fret, and the third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now another possibility for the G is you can take the third finger and go to the B string third fret, pinky on the high E string third fret. And if you strum all those together, that's another way you could play G major. And then from the G, we're going to be going to a D major chord. When we play D major, first finger goes to the G string on the second fret, second finger on the high E string on the second fret, and third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord. Now randomly, you may want to kind of play around with some other D chords actually. If you put the pinky down on the high E string on the third fret, that sounds something called a D sus. And you may want to play around with that. A lot of times if I'm on a D chord, I'll do D sus licks. Or if you take the D and lift off the second finger, that's something called D sus 2. So you may want to kind of play around with those voicings to kind of say some stuff on the D chord. Now a lot of times with a song like this though, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. This would be a really slow pace, but if you're starting out, it could be a cool way to do it. Is kind of the B minor with a down, down, up, down, up, G, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, kind of through our intro part. A lot of times with a song like this too, you could kind of add basses. And on the B minor, if you're doing the bar, you'd have an A string for your bass. And on the G, you'd have the low E string for your bass. And then on the D, you'd have the D string for your bass. So you can kind of make it a bass down, up, down, up if you wanted to. So that B minor with an A bass, down, up, down, up, G with low E bass, down, up, down, D with a D bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, up. And because of the feel of the tune though, what really feels more like the recording is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that into two parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the D and just kind of do it down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing it down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you're doing up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. So we tried that through that intro progression. We had B minor down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, A string for the bass on the B minor, G with the low E bass, and then D with the D string for your bass. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, E minor, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So we're gonna play around with that. Now there's some cool licks though through that intro part where you could take the B minor and we could do something called an arpeggio, which means broken chord, where you kind of play the A string and then the G string and then the D string and then the A string. So I'm going A, G, D, A. And then we play third on the B string and then lift off the second finger back to the bar on second. And then we go to 4 on the D and then back to 2 on the A string. So it's kind of this little lick. Kind of this little lick around the B minor, and then we play open A, and then we kind of go to almost like a G, but you're doing 3rd fret on the low E string, 3rd on the B string, and then 5th fret on the high E string, and then we go back to the B string on the 3rd, and we kind of end up kind of breaking that up. It's kind of that low E 3rd, 3 on the B, 5 on the high E, 3rd on the B, 3rd on the B, 5 on the high E, 3rd on the B. And then we go to some cool licks around some power chords where we go to a D5 power chord. And when we play D5, first finger goes to the A string on the 5th fret, and normally you do 3rd finger on the D string on the 7th fret. And if you strum the A string and the D string together, that's something called a D5 power chord. Now you may want to think about doing that with the pinky though, because there's this little lick where we kind of start with the 5th fret on the A string, but then there's this little slide back to the 4th fret on the A string, and then we slide right back to the 5th fret on the A string. You may want to kind of play around with kind of using the first finger to kind of get that slide lick. And then from there, then we kind of do this like kind of another little slide lick where we do the D5, sliding back to 4, and then we slide all the way up to an F sharp 5 where you have first finger on the 9th fret on the A string, pinky or the 3rd finger on the D string on the 11th fret, and then we kind of play that F sharp 5 and then slide it over to 10th and 12th. Kind of get this little slide at the end. So you may want to kind of play around with that too. And then we almost kind of start that lick over again with that B minor arpeggio, and then the open A, and then the G lick comes back. But then we kind of go back to our power chord lick for the, and we kind of keep that going, kind of with our slide. And instead of B minor, you could go to a B5 power chord. And when you play B5, first finger goes to the low E string on the 7th fret, 3rd finger goes to the A string on the 9th fret, and if you strum just the E and the A string together, that sounds a B5 power chord. And instead of the G chord, you can use a G5 power chord where you take that shape and slide it down to 3rd and 5th frets on the E and A string. So you kind of have a B5, through, you got your B minor arpeggio, and then open A, and the G arpeggio, and then you go to your D5 for kind of that D5 lick, 7, or all the way to 9, 11, and then slide up to 10, 12, and then we're back to the arpeggio again, and then open A, G arpeggio, and then we kind of hit that D running with that D lick. Then we'll be going into our verse part, and our verse starts on the D major, and we do another D major, and then we go to B minor, and then we do G major. So you could do that with kind of your down, down, up, down, up. You'd have D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, B minor, down, up, G, down, up, or you could add basses to that and have D with the D bass, down, up, down, D with the D bass, down, up, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, G with a low E bass, down, or you could work that with the 16th pattern, B, down, down, up, down, 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 B, down, up, down, B minor, down, up, down, G, down, up, or you could add basses to that and have D with the D bass, down, D with the D bass, down, up, down, B minor with an A bass, down, G with low E bass, down, chorus part. And our chorus starts on the D major, but then we go to an A major chord. And when we play A major, first finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, second finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret, third finger goes to the B string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now on that A chord change though, you can kind of hear that there's a C sharp note on the A string 4th fret on that A chord. So you may want to think about kind of doing that as kind of a little bar over the D, G, and B. So you can get your 3rd finger to kind of lay into that A. Or if you're doing the power chords, you could be doing the D5, and when we take that 1st finger down to the 4th fret on the A string, kind of hold on to that 7th fret on the D. It's actually something called an A3/C sharp. That's what I call it. It's an A note and a C sharp note, but you got an A note or a C sharp note in the bass on the A string. So you got kind of that D5, A/C sharp, and then we go to our B5. And then we go to our G5. So you may want to kind of think about that using the power chord. You can kind of make it heavy that way. Or you can kind of work it with one of our other strum patterns. So you could do it down, down, up, down, up, and you have D with down, down, up, down, A, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, up. Or you can add basses to that. And on the A, you could do kind of that A/C sharp would be a cool way to kind of work that. So D with a D bass, down, up, down, A/C sharp with an A bass, B minor with an A bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, up. Or you could try that with the 16th and have D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, A, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, G, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Or you could add basses to that. You have D bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, A/C sharp, B minor with an A bass, G with low E bass. And then from there, then we go into kind of almost like a little intro return actually, where we kind of go back to that D lick that we had. So you may want to even kind of bring that back through that intro part. And we got B5 and then the G5. So it's almost like a little piece of the intro returning. Or you can do that with the 16th, and we could even carry that through with the basses. B minor, G. And then from there, then we'd be going back into our verse part. So we'd be back to kind of that D, part. So we've got the D, A/C sharp, B minor with an A bass, G with low E bass, D with the D bass, A/C sharp, B minor with an A bass, G with low E bass. And then from there, then we go into our bridge part, and our bridge is really just kind of a vamp on the D major. So you can do that with kind of your bass down, up, your down, down, up, or your 16th note patterns. So it's kind of a big stay on that. But there's this really cool thing that comes in around on the A string, where you can do 9th fret on the A string, and then slide it down to 7th fret, and then we play it a couple more times, and then we play it and slide down to 5th fret, and then we play it a couple more times, and then we play 5th and slide to 4, and then play it a couple more times, and then we go to 2 on the A string and do a slide up to 4, 4 slide to 5, 5 slide to 4, 4 slide to 7, 7 slide to 5, and then we play 5, 5 some more. So going 9, 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5, 9, 7, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, 4, 5, 4, 4, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. And if you wanted to, you could even kind of add in power chords with that leg. want to kind of think about kind of adding that in too around that, or just using that as kind of a breakdown idea. So I'm just kind of taking that power chord shape and then kind of moving it up along with that lick. So we want to kind of think about adding that in too. And then from there, then we'd be going back into our chorus part. So we'd be kind of back to our D and the A and the B minor progression. And we end up repeating that 4 times, and then we actually kind of bring back our bridge part at the very end. So at the very end, we're kind of back to that intro lick. And actually, it's really that bridge part that kind of comes back. So I want to kind of think about using that too. Now, something else you may want to try with the song, though, is something called drop D tuning. And what I mean by that is if you take the low E string and kind of loosen it up until it almost sounds like somewhere over the rainbow between the low E string and your D string. So I'm going D, D, somewhere over the rainbow. And you could even use a tuner. You're just taking your low E string and loosening it up to a D note. And what you can do with the drop D idea actually can be very, very cool. Actually, it can reinforce a lot of those licks. Kind of reinforcing those licks with kind of like the open D string, or what's now a D string. Now, what that does change in the intro lick, though, is where you've got the B minor. That part doesn't change. The open A doesn't change. But now instead of going 3rd fret on the low E string, you go 5th fret on the low E string for your G note in the intro lick before you go to the D lick with kind of that open D string. And then we kind of go back to that arpeggio again. So the only thing that's really changing is anything that's on the low E string gets added to 2 frets, which is kind of a cool, weird, strange thing with that. Also applies to where we were doing our power chord. So now your B5, instead of being on the 7th and the 9th fret, actually what we end up doing is kind of taking the whole 9th fret. So now it's kind of 9, 9, 9 for your B5 power chord. And your G5 power chord is the 5th fret. So you got 5, 5, 5 on the E and the A and the D, or it was the E and the A and the D. So you could kind of work those shapes. Actually, it's kind of like 1 finger power chords. It's kind of the idea here. And you can even kind of ride that out through a lot of the tune, actually. So through the intro, you can kind of use your lick, and then kind of the B5 on the 9th fret, G5's on the 5th fret. And through our other chords, actually, that could reinforce it. Now, the only chord shape that really gets changed by the drop D is the G chord shape. Because where we were playing 3rd fret on the low E string, now we want to be playing 5th fret on the low E string. So drop D, G chord. We're doing 1st finger on the high E string 3rd, and the 3rd finger could go over the low E string on the 5th fret. And if you wanted to, you could even kind of flatten that 3rd finger out to kind of try and bring out the G5 power chord and reinforce it with the rest of the chord. The B minor, though, really isn't going to get changed because we're not really trying to play the E string on the B minor chord. So through our verses, we'd have kind of that D5, and you can strum all the strings if you've got the drop D going on with the D. That can really reinforce the chord quite a bit. B minor, G major, just everything on the E string is kind of getting shifted by 2 frets. B minor, drop D. And then when we get to our chorus part, our drop D really isn't going to affect the D. We can get the low D in. The A, or the A/C sharp, you can try and kind of bring out the A string to the high E string with that chord. Or if you just don't care, you can just use that D as a drone. And then you got the B minor, and then you've got your G that's been adjusted for the drop D. So we tried it that way, we'd have kind of a D, A/C sharp, B minor, drop D, G, drop D for, what this can really help help a lot with, which is that bridge lick. Now you can play the low E string for all of those. Drop D really helps for those bridge licks where we kind of had that 7 7 7 5 5 5 5 4 4 4 2 4 4 5 5 4 4 7 7 5 5 5. Because with all of those, you could actually kind of reinforce every one with that drop D. You may want to kind of think about that through the tune too, kind of playing around with it as a drop D thing. But that's the basics of how you could strum through Creed, My Sacrifice. So good luck!